Hi, I'm Clark Hale. I'm Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Seneca Holdings. Well, Seneca Holdings is a holding company where we own a variety of door companies. They participate in industries ranging from data centers, clean rooms, commercial activities like restaurants, convenience stores, or supermarkets. Basically, they're centers of excellence. We have cold storage facility expertise in Cincinnati, Ohio. We do aviation and emergency response doors in Mankato, Minnesota. We do traffic doors in 2 locations, one in Redmond, Oregon, and one in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Then we do refrigeration and freezer doors in our Irving, Texas facility. And then here in Salt Lake City is where we do our clean room as well as data center containment doors. And then finally, we have a geographically distributed facility called HMF Express, and they do hollow metal doors. And their key role in the marketplace is express delivery. When you need something in a day or rush delivery, you go to HMF Express for either a specialty door or rush delivery. And that is where we have a geographic footprint across the country. We participate in a number of different markets, and you try and find synergies, whether it's in the understanding of your end customer base, so that your sales organization can provide expertise to their customers. So we're very strong in restaurants, convenience stores, supermarkets, and we have a good understanding of their businesses and how our products help them be successful. So we try and leverage that expertise across our separate sales organizations. We have the same thing here in our Salt Lake City organization, where we have a good understanding of data center containment as well as medical manufacturing, medical products manufacturing, and other clean room applications, whether they can be food, pharma, whatever it may be. And the second area of synergy that we look for is on the manufacturing side, sharing expertise, sharing our concepts in lean manufacturing and deploying those across the platform. And third, we look for trying to leverage the total buying power of the Seneca organization. So when you combine all of these manufacturing facilities, we have some common commodity needs, raw material needs. We try and use our expertise and understanding of that to get the best cost product from the best cost vendors. And so that's where I think we add value in basically driving cost, driving expertise, and then driving customer expertise as we share some of our sales organizations. Company is about the values, and I think what we try and communicate is the values drive behaviors, and the behaviors drive results. And so I think over the last several years, we put a lot of energy into how do we drive values. And the very first thing that we focused upon is just building trust. We've been through a lot of change as an organization. We've been through a lot of change and what's happened over the pandemic over the last several years and what that's meant to our employees. So we really tried to focus on how do we build trust with our customers on reliable delivery? How do we build trust with our employees that they've got a safe workplace that also fits the flexibility required of their work, family life to support what's gone on as we've had such disruptions in people's lives with the pandemic. And then finally, it's also building trust with our investors, that we meet our commitments, that we're delivering on that value proposition. So that was really what we focused on really at the start of the pandemic. Since that time, we've really tried to focus upon how do we continually raise our performance. And how do you do that? Well, you start with just measuring. And so we really focused on deploying measurements throughout the organization. But then it's not only measuring, it's learning from that. So that's the third value that we focused on, is continuous improvement and continuously raising the bar. As we achieve our objectives, we set new standards. And so we're always striving for improvement and recognize that one of the things that we even talk about is better is good. This week, just be a little smarter, do a little better. And I see that over the last 3 years, we've really made tremendous progress in improving our performance. It's interesting is when you think about, as you say, people might look at a door and think about that as being something mundane. Now, of course, if it's in your home or in a more of a consumer-facing establishment, you tend to think more about the aesthetics. But I also think, first of all, there's so many places you see it. Now, my family might be tired of me pointing out all of our doors all over the place. But it's interesting, when I look at the Wall Street Journal, they do a story about restaurants. I remember recently reading one about barbecue. It's on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, and what do I see? I see a Seneca door, because they're in the person's restaurant. And I think what we try and strive for, and when I talked about it with our employees as well, is that you feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the day. So you've enhanced, in the case of a data center, you've enhanced the energy efficiency of the data center. In the case of a clean room, there's so many ways that we participate on that front in terms of whether manufacturing. And I remember exactly the first day that California announced that we were going to have to shut down for essential businesses. And we were trying to decide, do we meet the definition of essential business? And I remember also that we were producing a door from Moderna that day. And so you can't imagine why we wouldn't be considered an essential business at that time. And I was pleased that we did meet that. And our employees also recognized that they were essential, because a lot of employees decided that maybe there were too many risks early on in the pandemic. And I think they realized how important we were to the rest of the economy, whether it was also in the supermarkets. And again, dividing the front of the house from the back of the house in the supermarket. And so there are a lot of ways that I think our employees find that they contribute to the economy overall, and they contribute in a way that makes them feel proud about what they do. Just most really how this organization has responded over the dramatic changes that have occurred in the last 3 years. And it starts with trust. And even when I talk about trust, I talk about building trust in the organization and the leadership that they're going to make the right decisions. We're thinking about protecting our employees first and their customers. But it's also the trust that our management team has placed in our employees as we change to a hybrid or completely remote organization. And it's incredible the improvement in productivity that we've had as an organization overall. And I think it comes from that two-way trust that's occurred and grown over the last several years. Well, I guess each person has their role to play in the organization that's equally critical. Some may have a larger view of their place in the world, but each of these roles are absolutely significant to making sure that we have flawless quality product, that we understand our customers and the use of our product, and making sure that it is the right product for the application. So whether it's the engineer designing something that's more cost-effective, more responsive, for example, our emergency response doors that we build in Mankato. One of the reasons that has an appeal is not only aesthetically is that folding door appreciated, but it also enhances the response time of whether it's the fire department or any sort of emergency service. So you can think that you enhance life safety on that front. There's a lot of ways to look at that. But I also think what's important to them is at the end of the day that they know that they did something that they had a sense of accomplishment. So you can't always equate it to, I built a door for a 5-star restaurant and I'm proud of that because I'm never going to go to that Michelin star restaurant or whatever it may be. But somebody appreciates your work. The thing that I'd like to get across, I guess, is the most successful organizations is where you see people are continuously searching for new answers. They're trying to learn, trying to get a little bit better every single day. And it's that inquisitiveness, but it's also the opportunity to participate. I remember early in my career when we talked about Kaizen, which means continuous improvement, and you run an event, and at the end of the event, hopefully you had an opportunity to change a process and transform that process, and now you improve the quality or the safety or the productivity. But what's really exciting and engaging is when you have an opportunity to participate in that. And anyone in the organization can offer improvement suggestions. And I think the way I look at it is, historically, we haven't paid and listened enough to everyone throughout the organization. We want to be clear of what the objectives are, improving safety, improving quality, improving speed. But once you set the ground rules, it's just amazing the contributions people can make, no matter what their title, no matter what their experience or their education may be. They know their processes extremely well. They know what frustrates them and creates obstacles to success, whatever the definition of success may be. And so creating that opportunity, I think, really empowers folks and really unleashes their full potential. And that's what we want Seneca to be, is a place where employees can really fulfill their potential. Why do we want an open door culture? Because you don't know where good ideas are going to come from. One of the things I always think about myself is I'm good at listening to others, where I can hear opportunities for us to create value for our customers, for us to provide a way to do our jobs in an easier, simpler fashion. And when I think about an open door, it really means about being open to input from anywhere in the organization. You know, when you get feedback on your Net Promoter Score as a place to work, we've made significant progress in improving Seneca as a place to work, but it's still nowhere near where I'd like it to be. And it means that we haven't created that kind of environment that employees can thrive in. And so the door is open because we're looking for ideas on how we can go about helping that. And I think the other thing that we just hope that everybody embraces here is, good ideas can come from anywhere. When you join Seneca, and it's okay to say, I like the job that I'm coming into, I want to do the best that I can. And at the end of the day, I'm going to hang my hat here and I'm going to go home to my family, and that's where my energy needs to be. But I want it to be a place that you really do think about what is it that you want to become, and how do we participate in that? How can we help you achieve whatever that may be? And so when I think about the culture that we really want, is we want it a place where people can aspire to be whatever they want to be in a way that helps us be successful. So yes, we have a number of factories in Seneca Holdings, but what we've done over the last several years, we've made investments in a state-of-the-art mission-critical equipment facility here in Salt Lake City that's really focused on these high-tech, high-growth areas such as data centers, as well as clean rooms that serve pharmaceutical, medical equipment manufacturing, and food processing applications, to name a few. Then we also made significant investments in Irving, Texas, in our ThermoSeal facility. We're really a state-of-the-art glass door manufacturing facility for refrigeration and freezer cases in convenience stores or supermarkets. Our third significant investment's been in Mankato, Minnesota. Again, a center of excellence focused on emergency response doors and aviation doors. And then you go to our Cincinnati facility. We've consolidated all of our manufacturing for cold storage applications in Cincinnati. They also do some stainless steel doors for pharmaceutical and other types of applications. And then finally, we have two wonderful traffic door facilities, one based in Redmond, Oregon, and one based in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And they primarily focus on restaurants, supermarkets, other commercial establishments, again, are experts in traffic doors. And then finally, we have our HMF Express business, which makes custom specialty hollow metal doors in extremely quick lead times. So we have a number of service centers across the country so that we can get to our customers within 24 hours to deliver the products they need for their facilities to operate effectively. Data has become so significant to all of us over the last several years, and you just see the constant migration of information, intelligence, business practices all operating in the cloud. And our role in it is, how do we make that more energy efficient? So I think of ourselves not as a door company, but as an energy efficiency company. And as we've seen also over the last year with the war in the Ukraine, as well as the brownouts that have occurred in California, some of the challenges that we had in Texas in the prior year, this transition, an energy transition, is going to put more and more focus on energy efficiency. and we have a huge role to play. Sustainability is a key part of manufacturing, and when you think about it, as you're looking at your input costs and you're looking at things that go out of this facility that don't provide value to your customers. So we look at our waste streams as well. Are there ways of re-diverting those into more value generating opportunities? It's just, I think, a good part of our practice. Sustainability is being efficient, but also doing our part to make sure that we're not contributing to, I'll call it waste, whether it's a waste stream, waste energy, wasted water, whatever it may be. So we're always looking for those opportunities. So it's critical to our manufacturing strategy.